He was their father, but at night he became something else. In a beautiful home in Lagos lived a woman named Amara and her husband Cheek. They had two lovely children, Ada, 7 years old, and Junior, 5. Amara was a strong and hard-working woman. She had a big job in a big company. Her salary was very good, and her work took her all around Nigeria. Even though they had money and lived well, something wasn't right at home. Her husband, Cheek, was not working. He stayed at home every day. He said jobs were hard to find, and Amara didn't complain. She took care of everything: school fees, food, house, bills, and even sent money to Chaik's mother every month. Amara loved her family with all her heart. But deep inside, Amara was tired. She missed her children. She didn't like how the nanny was always the one feeding them, helping with homework, and tucking them in at night. One night, she looked at her sleeping children and cried. She didn't want to be a stranger in their lives. So Amara made a big decision. She quit her big job. Yes, she left all the money and respect just to take a smaller job close to the house so she could be there for her kids. People laughed at her. Even her friends didn't understand, but she was happy. Every day she picked up her kids from school, cooked dinner, and read bedtime stories. Life was simple, but sweet. Then, one afternoon, while she was at her new job, Chaik called her. "Amara, please come home now. It's urgent. It's a family matter." She rushed out. Her heart was beating fast. She entered a taxi and never made it home. The car had a terrible accident. Amara died on the spot. Her family cried. Her mother collapsed when she heard. Her siblings wanted to see her body, but Cheek refused. He said, "The body is too damaged. Let her rest." Nobody suspected anything. But Chaik was hiding something. He had planned it. He wanted her gone. He wanted her life insurance money. And he wanted full control over the children. The funeral was quiet. Her family wasn't allowed to see her body. Her mother wept beside an empty casket. A few months later, Ada and Junior went to spend the school holiday with their grandmother, Amara's mother. One hot afternoon, Mama Amara was bathing Ada when the little girl started crying. Not small tears, heavy, painful tears. She held her grandmother's hand and whispered, "Grandma, please don't let me go back home." "Why, my child?" Ada looked up, her voice shaking. "Daddy touches me, and Junior too. He said if we tell anyone, he will beat us and send us to the village forever." The old woman dropped the sponge. Her knees became weak. Her world stopped. What kind of man hurts his own children? What kind of man plans the death of a woman who gave him everything? Mama Amara could not sleep that night. She sat in the corner of the room, holding Ada and Junior close. Her heart was broken. Her hands were shaking. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she looked at her daughter's children, the same children that evil man was destroying. Early the next morning, she picked up her phone and called all her children, Amara's brothers and sisters. They came quickly. When they heard what Ada said, they were shocked and angry. One of the brothers wanted to go and fight Cheek that same day, but Mama stopped him. "No," she said firmly, "we will not fight with hands. We will fight with the law." That same afternoon, Mama called Chaik. He picked up. "Hello, Mama. he said with his fake gentle voice. But Mama's voice was sharp. Chaik, you're a devil. You killed my daughter. Now you're destroying her children. Ada told me everything. Silence. Then Chaik laughed, a dry, evil laugh. Mama, children lie. You want to destroy my name with nonsense? I'm taking my children back. Before Mama could say another word, the call ended. 2 days later, Chaik arrived with police officers. Police. He had power. He had money. And his family had long arms. He came with his elder brother and 2 lawyers. This woman is keeping my children against my will, Chaik shouted. Mama cried and begged. Ada and Junior held her tight and screamed, We don't want to go, please, Grandma. But the police forced them into the car. They were gone. That night, Mama didn't sleep. She felt like she was losing Amara all over again. But this time, she rose. She went to a human rights lawyer in Tona young woman named Barrister Uju. She told her everything about Amara's mysterious death, about the abuse, about how Chaik never worked and how he treated her daughter like a slave even in her grave. Barrister Uju was fire in human form. We will go to court, Mama. He will not win. Not this time. The court case began. But Chaik's family had money. They brought big lawyers. They threatened Mama, even tried to bribe the judge. Drop the case, they told her, or you'll lose everything. But Mama Amara stood firm. If I die fighting for these children, let it be so, she said. Weeks passed. The case grew bigger. People started whispering. Journalists heard about it. Women's groups joined the fight. The truth about Amara's death began to shake the community. Still, Chaik stood like a proud peacock in court, wearing his expensive agbada and fake smile. He thought he was untouchable, until one day, Junior spoke, in front of the judge, in front of everybody. And what that small boy said in his tiny voice shook the entire courtroom to tears. The courtroom was full that morning. Journalists, women's groups, lawyers, Neighbor 7 strangers came to hear the voice of a small boy who had been silent for too long. Junior sat in the witness box, holding a teddy bear. He wore a clean white shirt and blue jeans, but his eyes looked older than his years. The judge spoke softly. Junior, can you tell us what happened in your house? Junior looked down, then at his grandmother, Mama Amara, who nodded at him gently. Then he looked at his father Chaik sitting there with his big lawyers and fake smile. Then the boy spoke. Daddy used to come to our room at night when we were sleeping. He will touch me and Ada in a bad way. He said if we talk, he will beat us or send us to the village forever where nobody will find us. I didn't want to tell anybody. But Grandma said it's okay to speak. Gasps filled the courtroom. Chaik's smile disappeared. The judge banged her gavel for silence. Junior continued. Before Mummy died, she told me to always protect Ada. But I couldn't. I'm sorry, Mummy. At that moment, even the strongest people in the room cried. Mama Amara wept. The judge wiped tears from her own eyes. The prosecutor stepped forward. Your Honour, the evidence is clear, and we also have the insurance agent's statement showing that Mr. Chaik received 25 million from his wife's life insurance only 1 week after her death. Gasps again. Even some of Chaik's own family members turned their heads away in shame. After a few minutes, The judge stood up and said, "This court finds Mr. Chaik guilty of child abuse, sexual assault, and the suspicious death of his wife Amara. He is sentenced to life in prison. The children are hereby placed under the permanent care of their maternal grandmother, Madam Grace Okonkwo." The courtroom clapped. Some cried, some shouted, "Justice!" Chaik was dragged away in handcuffs, still shouting, "It's a lie! She turned my children against me!" Nobody listened. Justice had spoken. And months later, Ada and Junior were back in school. They laughed again. They sang songs again. Mama Amara would pick them up from school, buy them puff puff, and help with homework. Every Saturday, they visited their mother's grave. Ada would leave flowers. Junior would talk to the wind. One sunny afternoon, Ada looked up at Mama and said, "Grandma, do you think Mummy is proud of us?" Mama Amara smiled, tears in her eyes. "She is smiling in heaven, my children. She knows her sacrifice was not in vain." The camera zooms out as they walk hand in hand through the village, laughter rising in the air. Moral lesson. This story teaches us that sacrifice, though beautiful, must never be one-sided. Amara gave up everything, her career, her comfort, her dreams, because she loved her family. She chose to be a present mother, not just a provider. She believed love would be enough to build her home. But love alone doesn't protect you from evil wisdom. Courage and support do. It reminds us that a good woman can lose herself trying to fix a broken man. Amara trusted her husband blindly, covered his shame with her strength, and carried the family like a pillar. But pillars too can crack when they stand alone for too long. She stayed, she gave, she forgave, until it cost her her life. This story is also a powerful warning. The real monsters don't always come from the forest. Sometimes they live in our home smiling, wearing agbada, and calling themselves daddy. Evil hides in silence, and silence protects it. But the moment a voice speaks out like Ada and Junior, the chains start to break. It teaches that justice may be slow, but it comes when we speak up and refuse to be bullied by power or money. Mama Amara, though old and grieving, stood up against threats, bribes, and shame. She fought with nothing but truth and a mother's love, and in the end, truth won. Above all, this story reminds us that every child deserves to feel safe. Every mother deserves to be honored, not betrayed. And every silence broken is one step closer to freedom. Thank you all so much for watching this story. If it touched your heart, please don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe for more powerful African stories. Your support means everything. Let's keep growing this family together. From User Stories.